Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar. First of all, please tell us if you can hear us well. Okay, great. Happy to have you today. Probably going straight to what we have prepared for you today. So I'm going to share my screen with our presentation. Okay, so the first part will be about the news, our plans and updates, and then we will have a short Q&A session during which you will be able to ask any questions you may have. So straight to our plans and updates. During the last month, since our last webinar, we've developed a few updates. First of all, we've released AI writing templates that allow you to generate content using forms that help you to specify what you want to include in your content, and it allows you to write different content pieces. Just a quick overview of this model. Okay. So as probably some of you know, the AI writing button is available above the editor. And at the moment, you can choose from about 12 different AI writing templates, from basic ones like expanding or rephrasing text to more sophisticated that allow you, for instance, to write product description based on keywords and bullet points. And you can even write an email based on the bullet points. So for instance, I want to start with an article outline about the best running shoes. So how to choose the best running shoes. And I expect it to generate an outline of a blog post about selecting the running shoes. And as you can see, we've got this covered. So it's just an example. You can experiment with it. If you need to learn more about it, we've also released a tutorial video that is available here. And I think it takes practice to make the most of these AI writing templates, and it's just best to experiment with them. Okay, the second.
So we will for the next update for the AI writing templates, we will first of all we will add a few parameters, because you are asking, for example, for like a tone of voice a little bit different, or for example first person, second person, and so on and so on. So we are collecting this feedback, and we understand that there are some parameters that can be added in some fields, in some templates. So this will be added, and also we will allow to add a little bit more templates. So we are basically right now on the 12 templates, but we are going to expand this according to this what will be needed by the community. And basically, as we are busy right now with the content wizard, it will be also somehow merged with the content wizard. This is why we are waiting for both parts to release them together. So this is something that we are going to work on the same timeline, according to this what will be as well in the content wizard.
Okay, so another important issue was improving the language support for Japanese, and to be honest, we initially didn't have a good support for languages that use different spacing and than most of let's say European languages, and we've had to reorganize our language models. I think the feedback is quite good about our support for Japanese, and probably all the important features work well in this language. And as we've managed to improve language support for Japanese, we also want to do the same for Korean and Chinese and maybe other languages, and I think it will be much easier now. So this is something that we will be working on during the following weeks. The next feature is WordPress integration. We've just released the first version that allows you to import content directly from WordPress, or export content to WordPress. So you will be able to search for a post you want to synchronize to or import from. And as you can see, there's also a configuration part that is stored on the project level, and it will firstly speed up the synchronizing process, but also it will help you to keep the structure and the HTML output as clean as possible. So this is something you can experiment with. We know that there are some issues that we are going to cover in the next version, because some of you use custom configurations that cannot be specified at the moment, or there's also a need for more information on connection difficulties, because sometimes our integration can be blocked by your hosting or even some WordPress plugins. So that's something to improve definitely.
Yeah. So anyway, we are going to work on this integration. We already have the feedback. We understand what we have to do. So this is only the time that we need to improve the way how the integration works. And also we understand that we thought that it will be the best way to do the integration, the native integration, using the WordPress API. But we also consider, because we are seeing right now that some of you really prefer the plugins. We didn't think about the plugin from several reasons, and the security is the main reason here, because the plugins has to be updated and so on. So this is why we choose the native API, and this native API, when it's working very well. But according to this, what Damien just said, sometimes, for example, you can have a hosting security which do not allow to WordPress to work with the API as it should be, as a native integration and so on. So we will look in all these issues, and we will decide how big part, I would say so, of the issue it's covered by how we can cover this, to be honest. Yes. And we will see if this is worth to release the plugin, or we will just keep it as this. For me, it's better if it's as it is.
Okay, and also because of these issues, especially issues with content formatting and other limitations that our current editor had, we've decided to completely replace the current editor engine with a new one. And this update will be probably released today. So you can expect an improvement in how our editor deals with content, and I hope there will be as little modifications in your content as possible during the import and the export, and that will help you to achieve a similar output as possible to what you're seeing in the editor. So that's also a reason Also, a reason for replacing the editor engine is that we want to create new features that will rely on this, and especially the new draft generator, which we will talk about in a moment. So I hope that it will improve the overall user experience. And as some of you know, we've also released a NeuronWriter course and certification, which is available in the top bar. We've changed this button to Academy. And as you can see, there are a few tabs. The first one is a quick start training that in, let's say, 20 or 30 steps will guide you through the most important features of NeuronWriter. And at the end of this course, you will also receive a certificate that will be visible in your profile with a publicly available link, so you can share the information with anyone and just confirm that you've covered and completed our course. So it may be a good starting point for people who are new to NeuronWriter, but also for people who just want to check their knowledge and let others know that they are fluent with NeuronWriter.
Okay, I will just come back for a second to a change on the editor engine. So yeah, during the development of Neuron, we understood that there are some challenges that we are facing, especially about the content wizard, which will be a new draft module where you can drag and drop headers. You can rely on this AI creation, which should be also, I would say, on fly. So we need really something which is I would say, on one side it's a visual friendly, on the other side it's stable and easy to develop. And our editor that we used, that we are still using, or you are still using, wasn't as friendly as we thought, and that was a big blocker on our side for the next steps. But we assume right now with the new editor it will be all the development, also development of the on the things like the Chrome extension and so on could be I would say impacted by this, how we are using the new editor, the API from the editor and so on, because it will be we hope, yeah, I would say so. We hope it will be easier on our side to develop new functions, and they will be more visual friendly, more user friendly for you. And yeah, so that was something where we struggle with a little bit. As Damien said, we will release the new editor today, which means that new queries will be already processed by the new editor. But if you will work on the old queries, they will be still in the old editor.
No, we are switching all of them.
All of them. Okay.
Yeah, so I hope it won't be a big shocker, but
Okay. We'll see. Okay, then. Yeah. So all the questions like, yeah, can we export this to format X and so on and so on will be solved. Also, this editor has some options which were not available in the old editor, like for example, RTL. So it's like left to right, right to left. All these elements are native on the editor. So we don't really have to develop this because it's just a native. The editor already have this option. So I believe this is a very good change according to this, what will be in the future, how fast we can develop. But of course, from your point of view, it will be easier because most of the elements that you needed and you ask it for probably will be available straight from editor, from editor perspective.
Yeah, and if not, just let us know. I think we can configure a lot of them. So
Yeah, like for example, adding the YouTube videos and so on, things like this. So as easy as that, and it was hard. Yeah, we have to self code it in the alt editor. Okay, so questions. Okay.
okay, so maybe a bit about our focus right now. As we've already said, we've almost finished preparing for the switch to the new editor, and it will be released today. I expect that a few following days will be spent on fixing any problems and requests you may have with the new editor. Also, we plan to release a minor update that will focus on making the WordPress integration work as smooth as possible. And two main goals that we are focused on right now. The first one is a Chrome extension that we've already said a lot about before, and that will allow you to write content with our recommendations directly in your favorite CMS. And the other one being the content wizard, that will be much easier to use from the UX perspective, because at the moment you have to switch between the editor and current brief, yes, and it's really not obvious how to use this properly, and we'd love to make this much easier and join this with the ideas you already have in the sidebar, and make both writing and creating document structure just a one single process that covers all and is easy to use. So
Yeah, we are seeing this like you will start with the query and you will just follow a few steps, and after those few steps, you will have, I would say, half-baked article or product description, whatever you choose during the follow-up with the creator, and you can work on this with your expertise. So I mean, like you can extend and improve the content, which will be already pre-written by the AI, because that's something that we also seeing as a part of the process of the content brief, content wizard. So we will have the content wizard where you really start with the query, and then you finish with something like, I don't know, I'm just guessing, like 1500 words article or 300, 400 words product description. So yeah, that's the plan, and yeah, I hope it will be ready in a few months. We'll see. Maybe end of the.
I hope quicker, but
I hope quicker is. Yeah, we'll see, because we just changed editor, so we have to really figure it out. I hope it will be going much faster right now.
okay, so questions.
Questions.
Okay, so if you have any questions, we'd love to answer them. Please type them in the chat box. I can see that Philip already mentioned that WordFence blocked the integration for him. Yes, we've seen it too, and to be honest, we are just learning about what could interfere with our integration, and it's possible on different levels. It could be hosting, it could be Cloudflare, it could be plugins, and I think that the next version will be much easier to use. Didi, are there any plans to update the UI UX of NeuronWriter to be more modern and clean?
Yes. So that's something that I believe it will coming in somewhere mid. I would say mid March, mid April. We would like to finish the most important parts, like I mean, like this content draft and so on, which will also require, for example, this content wizard will also require to change a lot on the way how the software works and looks, and that will be a good point to simplify a lot, because we also understand we are looking on this how you are using the neuron, and we also understand that there is a lot of parts of the neuron which are not really, I would say, mandatory. So we will look how to accommodate this and really hide some of the elements and so on and so on. So I believe it will be simpler and yeah, so more clean. There was one question more just above about
Are there
backlinks. No, one more.
backlinks?
Yeah, link suggestion more easy. Okay, here from Ditleaf.
Oh, right.
So yeah, with the new editor we can do this, and it will be done. But there is no really like like a date for it. But yeah, we'll look. As I mentioned already, we struggled with the old editor, and we were like trying to figure it out. We tried to do some things which were not really working as we like to. Um, but now looks like we will have a much more options, and I assume link suggestion will work exactly as you mentioned it. So there will be some already proposals in the text that you are writing or optimizing with the anchors that you can use for backlinks, something like that. So yeah, so this is the long term plan to really use this editor, the new editor, as much as we can, but it's not really in details yet.
Okay.
Right now, in the details, this what we have is just the content wizard. This we know how to do.
Okay, one more question. Are there any plans to bring topic clusters to NeuronWriter?
Somehow, yes. So we have topic clusters. So this what we have right now. It's called what to write next. It's not really a clustering keywords or topics. It's just like trying to cover the most important topics according subtopics. So you have a main topic and then you have a subtopics. So it's just proposing you the subtopics for a specific topic, which are popular, and also giving you the recommendation what is already covered by your competitors and what is covered by your content. So this is quite simple version of, I would say, content strategy, like a very simple version of the content strategy. And we are going to work on this to be more data driven, to add a little bit more information on this level. So when you are doing the content plan, you will be more, I would say, flexible. But if you are asking if we are going to work on the keywords level and so on, not something that really we will do, because we also are seeing that copywriters or the business owners which are working with the neuron, they are not really experts or SEO freelancers, and they just need a simple recommendation what they have to do, what they have to write. So we are going to really give them the simple recommendations. What are the topics, subtopics that they should cover, without any kind of clusterization and so on and so on. So without any jargon, and as easy as possible.
Okay. Neuron is using GPT-3. So is there any possibility to upgrade this to conversational AI like ChatGPT?
When ChatGPT will be available as an API, we will look at it. Right now, there are tools which are scraping the output from the ChatGPT, which is not legal from obvious perspective. It's not legal from the terms and so on. So we are not doing this. But of course, when the API will be open from the OpenAI, we are already waiting for. We are like in beta testing. We are waiting for opening the API. Of course, it will be available for you as well, so you can use the ChatGPT for a content generation. But we don't really know when it will be and what will be the pricing. because there is so many rumors now about the chat GPT that we don't really know what they are going to do with the technology. Yes, and right now you have a new technology from Google just released, which is better than chat GPT. So we will see how this goes. But yes, in general, yes, we will always give you the most modern engines from OpenAI.
Okay, suggestion from Philip. Please could advertise this webinar more widely. Uh, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. In general, we are working on improving our communication. So we will probably continue with our Q&A webinars, but also the most important features will be communicated with videos and content that doesn't require you to wait for the webinar to be
Yeah,
announced.
we just first part of this is newsletter, which will be a monthly newsletter with all the updates that we are right now going through, with the invitation to the next webinars and so on and so on. So we are working on it, but I also understand that there should be something in the application. In application, of course, there is an icon where you have the all updates or the last updates, but also we understand that this is not really like we push this. Yes, so it's not like you open the app and there is I would say a banner or a model which is displaying you the information. Like, hey guys, in 2 days, in one day, in 7 hours, in 5 hours, there's a webinar. So yeah, we are quite polite, and we know that you are going to find us anyway.
Are you planning any updates for choose the competitors section? For example, add an ability to choose only from Google Search News feed competitors. Um,
Yeah, that's something that first of all, it will be. So how we are seeing this, it will be somehow included in the content wizard, because the section right now is the you have this first option to choose the competitors. We we have this on the to-do list to give you more information about, for example, the headers, sections, and so on. That's something that we already discussed, and we understand that this is needed. We will also try to do some kind of auto tagging, like it's a blog and whatsoever. But for now, we are seeing that most of the users, I would say big majority of the users, are quite fine with finding the competitors. I believe this what we can do better also is to give you the information about the competitors that you previously chosen. So you have already your competitors. This is your most common competitors, and maybe something like auto selection or something like that could be also good one for that. So that will be something good. And for the Google newsfeed, mm, I think it's not something where we are focusing, because the news feeds are most about the I would say the speed of the information. So it's more about the peaks of the informations. And if you are thinking about this, what and how we are optimizing Neuron, it's for evergreen content. So if you have evergreen content, this is where the Neuron is the best. For the news, I believe maybe we can look at it, but for now, I don't really see this as a something where we can really do a good job. I don't really believe that there is any tool that can do good job for that, because indeed you need to scrape the informations which are basically from high authority domain, because this is how the Google News choose the trust of the information. So they have the domains which with the high trust. So if you are a small business and there is a peak, anyway, probably you will be not visible in the feed because you don't have this authority. And if you have the authority, you don't need the neuron. that's the way how this works. Yes, if you are like a CNN, you don't need Neuron to optimize your news feed, because anyway Google will trigger your news when it's a peak.
Mm,
How are you handling competition like server content piece and so on? Updating features to keep competitive with them. So we are right now we are quite far from really looking on the features which should be added in Neuron to be competitive. We are more looking like to disable some features which are not necessarily there. So this what we are really looking right now is how to make a simple tool which will be user friendly and powerful. And maybe if there is something that we really have to add after we do all this, all these necessary elements, it will be something like, for example, extra extension and so on and so on. So something useful for majority of the users. And if the competition is using the same things, or they use or they don't use, when we are seeing that there is a need on the community level, we will think about how to add it. But we don't really look on the closely on the competition, to be honest.
okay, what is the best way to help you guys improve NLP suggestions in languages other than English? Czech in my case. Should we use the report function? Just so you know, the report function is the ability to report term that you think shouldn't be there. So you can click on the content term in the sidebar and report that the term is not relevant to your topic. I think it's one of the options, but to be honest, it will be useful when most of users start reporting these terms, because
When we have the volume, because right now there is no volume there, especially for the, I would say, low used languages. So yeah, if we have more reports, then of course better. Always you can just send us information like, guys, this is what you could improve. More details, better. So for example, if you have something like a stop words in your language which should be added, because for example somehow we don't really find them, then just send us, guys, add these stop words to a language X, and we will just do this. And that's the way as well. And we also understand that some languages, because of the way how they are written and how the grammar works, are still not perfect. And this is something where in the long term we will optimize our language models um, to be more, I would say, more predictable in the long run.
okay, so just to summarize, one of ways is reporting the terms, and the other one is sending us examples of how it should be, because we are not aware of some nuances in your languages. Um, okay, are there any plans to give simple recommendations for solving cannibalization? Um,
To be honest, cannibalization is not something what most of the users are even aware of. So we do not have plans to really dive deeper into solving the cannibalization. This is what you have right now in the reports. If you connect the Google Search Console, you have the report on the keyword level, like what keywords are triggering the same, or sorry, not the same, but what are the keywords, the same keywords, which are triggering different URLs. So for example, you have a keyword, I would say SEO, and the keyword SEO can trigger 20 articles, and you see exactly how many articles and what is the cannibalization percentage between those articles. So the simplest process is to just move the keywords, the majority of the keywords, from one article to another. Just make specific articles per subject. So if you have a SEO report, then you have the SEO report. If you have SEO audit, then you're just writing about the SEO audit. And this is the simplest solution for the cannibalization. But we don't give this on the level when you just compare the articles from Google Search Console. But that's something that we can do. But as I said, the priority is really low, because we already understand if you're looking at the cannibalization report, then you should know how to solve the cannibalization. I think so. I don't know. Yeah, that's difficult if you're expert and you're looking from the expert perspective, how people are using the tool and what should be the output from the tool.
Another question. Now Neuron can generate content for subtopics of a topic, just gives a paragraph even if I put other points to cover. Is there any plan to update this? I think in most situations it works quite well. So if you could send us the examples, that would be something we can work on, because maybe I don't know if it's a language related issue or just maybe
Niche specific issue, something
might
like that.
be.
Yeah. So typically we are using the GPT-3, and yeah, if you are just using GPT-3, it's just the same. I mean, like, it's not like Neuron case, it's more like a GPT-3 case. We are using DaVinci 003, so it's the newest model. And as even Damian showed today, it's quite good or very good. According to this, like, write me the outline for the article for the topic X or subtopics for X. In some niches, yes, it will be an issue, especially for example, if you go for adult niche or some kind of iGaming and so on and so on, where GPT-3 do not really give any results or very limited results, because there is something which is called content filter, which just removes everything which is like not accepted by the GPT-3. And it could be also issues if you are trying to generate about the topics which are fresh. So, for example, about let's say football championship in the Kuwait, probably there will be no information at all, because this is too fresh and GPT-3 just don't have the information yet about that. So that are the two cases which could be cases where you don't really have the good subtopics. If there is something else, just write us, and we are happy to go there and check.
Okay, so Mike, is this last call the last time you guys will be available on AppSumo? You guys will have enough MRR to stay sustainable without lifetime deals, I mean. Okay, so first of all, I think that our project is quite safe financially, and to be honest, we've managed to.
Yeah, we generate MRR even before we went to enough MRR before we went to Neuron to AppSumo with NeuronWriter, because our MRR is basically from Poland mainly right now, and from Contadu, which is one of the products that we have. We have also other products as well. So according to this, if we have enough money, we have enough money. And we don't know if this is our last time on the AppSumo, because looks like it's working, looks like the customers are happy. So we cannot say what will be in the 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. AppSumo is also very happy with us, and they are invite us with every actions that they do. So we cannot tell you that it's the really last time with the AppSumo. Probably not. If I can say something, probably it's not the last time with the AppSumo.
Janusz, good morning. Could you send us the recording? Hello, Janusz. Yes, we can.
Yeah, we will send the recordings, and recordings are also always available if you are just click on the Academy, and there is section when you have the webinars, and all the webinars are
Right, so Academy
here.
and then webinars. So.
And yeah, so you can always go for the previous webinars as well and so on.
Detlef, is it possible to give the AI writer some commands, for example, write a pros and cons for list for keyword? I think you can try to put this somehow in bullet points in the paragraph template form, or you can probably also experiment with the most basic template that is extending what you've already written. So you can, for instance, start with a sentence like the pros and cons of something are, and start with the first point of the list, and usually extending such a beginning will result in AI writing the rest of the list. So yeah, there is a way to suggest this.
I think the expand is the most common, because expand you can just write a comment or prompt to AI and then just ask for expand. And this is what we do with the expand. We just send the information that you highlight. So it could be even a prompt for the AI, and we get the feedback, which is the response output, which you get yeah, in your output. So you can even give them, if you like, of course, but you can even give some kind of example like, please give me output with XYZ similar to and whatever it is. So you can try, but anyway, as we said, we will add new templates. And also we are, if you have a template that you would like to have, just send it to us, like the template ideas, because we are still looking for the templates. So we are like we are really happy to add more templates, but also we understand that more templates, it's not really something that will be easier for the user. Yeah, it's like with the Ford, you can have any color, but it has to be black. So some kind of the decision-making process later will be difficult if you have 100 templates. So we are trying to figure it out if it's really necessary, or you can cover this with something else.
Okay, Philip, what time will the new editor go live today, so I can check? I think if it goes live today, it will be in, let's say, 2 or 3 hours. I don't know what time zone you're in, but I think in 2 or 3 hours, so pretty soon. But it will be probably a quiet launch first, so we can focus on any problems you may have, and it will
Yeah,
be announced.
we need to make a backup, yes, first. So we do the backup and then we release everything and then we are there. No, okay. Okay, any other questions? So, okay, we are waiting from questions from James and Phillips and so on. So in the meantime, I would like to thank you all for joining this webinar. We are super happy to meet with the users. We didn't have a lot of time during the last few weeks. Yeah, we just do a lot of development, and also yeah, the changes in the way how the neuron works. It's just time consuming, but always you can just send us yeah, I mean, like the ideas for improvement and so on and so on. This is something what we always collect, and the neuron quality program is temporarily on hold. We will switch it on, I believe, in a month, because right now we have so many feedback that we cannot really process the new feedback. So we have about 2,000 rows of the feedback. So we are really going through all this feedback first, and when the main elements are done, then we will go through again with the new probably new questions and the new challenges for you as well.
Okay. Can I connect with you on LinkedIn? I think you can.
If
Sure.
you have LinkedIn, then we have as well. So yes, of course, Philip.
Um, how long will the LTD last? Um,
So the LT, because we have two LTDs, we have the LTD because, like, with the AppSumo, we didn't have the plus extension, like 3 4 days. I don't know exactly how the plus extension works, but we have the last call. So there was a bunch of users which were thinking that they can still buy the NeuronWriter, but suddenly it was off on the AppSumo. So we launched the LTD that you can buy on our website for those users, and it's like, I would say, some kind of unpublic offer. And this will be also limited. I assume it will be like 2 3 weeks more, maybe, until all the people which somehow didn't decide to buy are sure they're buying or not, and then we will just switch this off, and that's all.
mm, James, any upgrade bonuses? Neuron is not a keyword tool. Uh, not
James,
sure. I know what do
James,
you mean.
write on the chat to us because we don't really understand these questions. Thank you,
Mm,
Philip. Um,
uh,
Confused. Okay, Janusz, we don't understand this. I'm probably understand, but yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, thank you. Um,
mm,
Mike is asking that we foresee NeuronWriter as a direct competitor for Surfer Phrase. I think more Phrase than Surfer. We will focus more on the content optimization, where Surfer is going into some kind of grow tool, whatever. So we are not really seeing our line similar to Surfer, but this what Phrase does. It's really, I will say, this is really competitive. It's the way how they optimize, how they build the product, and so on. We are quite impressed. And they have the same origins. They started with the AppSumo as well, completely with different tool. Because I bought Phrase like 2 years ago or 3 years ago on AppSumo as well, and it was outline builder, completely something else than they are today. So I believe in 2 3 years we will be also closer to this what Phrase is after 3 years than this where Surfer is heading. So yeah, so yes, of course, we are seeing this as a future competition. It's our direct competitor anyway right now. Yes.
mm,
So Market News Frederick is asking that Market News visualize keyword gap. So Frederick, I will explain you my point of view on this. I'm not a fan after 20 years in the SEO. Yes, I'm not a fan of the keywords anymore. We have a keywords, we have a keywords clustering, we have a topical clustering, and so on. And this what Google gives you on the keyword level. So I mean the data on the keyword level. It's not something that we would like to advertise to users on the organic level, because the keywords, like you can have a keyword or a topic, especially topics, which monthly volume could be a 0 or 10, and you can have, I don't know, 100 views of this article. So it's not really related to this. The data is obsolete. It's like really the way how they collect the data. It's not something that we would like to distribute to the user and explain them that, guys, here it's your content gap, it's your keyword gap. Sorry, it's your keyword gap, and look on this keyword because that's something which is very important for you. This what we do, as we already said. We are looking on the topics which are popular. So what are the it's closer to something which is like answer to public. So what are the people are really searching on the organic level, and if you are answering this or not. And this is what we are giving you as a right to write next. And then you have the ideas of the topics from the users. You have the coverage of your competitors, and this is something where we are going to build next steps, like like some kind of wizard when you can do the first step to create the articles which are missing, and so on and so on, but not really visualization on the keyword level and so on. And I understand where the market news is, I understand how they build this, and I understand how I also was using the keywords a long time ago for for SEO strategy, but it's not really worth time for, especially for the users who don't really understand how this works. Will you increase AI limits for the tiers in the future? We don't know, Mike, what will be in the future. Hard to say.
Yeah, it all depends on the future possibilities because we are waiting for OpenAI to release information about the costs of ChatGPT and if it will
Yeah,
be available soon.
we just don't know. Yeah. So if this will be, then we can talk about this. And always we are happy to give you as much as we can. We are really happy to give you as much as we can. With the Da Vinci model, at the same the same day they release it, you have it. But it's very difficult question what will be in the future, because I see the future very unclearly according to this. What can be done on the technology level by the, let's say, Bing and Google and so on and so on? Because maybe in the future there will be no blocks anymore. It's quite possible.
Okay, and as I can see, you've asked about the GPT-4. So it's just the same. At the moment, we don't have any information about.
Yeah, but surely it will be integrated. So if you are asking like if we will have the latest technology, yes, we will have the latest technologies. So here are the question. Can you please remove the 75 generation per hour limits for AI generation? Okay, that's something that we will look for that.
Yeah, because the requirements
Change
imposed.
it, and that's like legacy, like requirements by the OpenAI, and that's something that
Yeah, maybe it's not needed anymore. So
we will check this and we will fix this. Um, so affiliate links for the LTD pages. So to be honest, if you are willing to earn any money, I would say that promoting the monthly membership is much better than LTD. But of course, you can do whatever. But this, as we said, this LTD offer will be available for, I don't know, 1-2 weeks more. So I don't know if it's worth to spend money on that.
yeah, I think the other issue is at the moment the affiliate links redirect to our landing page, not the LTD page. So it's
Yeah, but
just
with the
not
with
as
the
easy
yeah,
to.
well, okay, but with the landing page. But anyway, I mean, this is just a temporary. The LTD on our website is a temporary offer for the people who somehow didn't figure it out with the Absumo. Um, Remove the 400 characters limit for AI generated text. I think on the level when you have the templates, it's not characters, it's words, and we can do more. I mean, like we can just extend this to more words, but 400 words for the GPT-3 is something that anyway it's hard to get from the GPT-3.
Yeah, and on the other hand, we also are careful with trying to be a one-click solution because it seems that
Yeah,
it's a bit controversial
so
too.
more content on one go means more less relevant content. So it's better to ask the AI for a paragraph per paragraph than write me 1,000 words about the single paragraph, because it's just going. I would say the output is just worse. Yeah. Philip, it is possible that GPT-3 will be not available in the future. We don't know, Philip, what will be in the future. Yeah, Microsoft just say that 10 billion bucks investment
Hmm.
in the OpenAI. So yeah, it's possible that Microsoft, I mean, like a Bing will be the answer, the first answer machine. We don't know. We don't really know. The technology is so fast that yeah. Last year when we have looked on the OpenAI, we didn't really see the quality, and after a few months, the quality was visible. And right now, everybody is using AI so open that even Google already give up on communication that AI content can be harmful. So it's like a flood of AI, and we don't know where this is going. I don't think so that anyone
Yeah, and
knows.
I think there's still a huge demand for this, and it's not like even if OpenAI decides to terminate GPT-3 availability, there will be some other solutions and other APIs that will cover this market. So
It should be better and cheaper, yes, because that was just a new technology, and in the long term, of course, it will be the same. Like with any technology, it will be just cheaper and better. So surely it will be something, even if GPT-3 is not. Probably it will be already GPT-6 when it's not available. But yeah, but I mean, like if the OpenAI it's not on the market as leader, there will be other leaders. Any plans to implement silo structures within NeuronWriter so we can connect groups pages with topical maps? Yes, this is something what we are thinking of. There is an internal linking feature which has to be improved, and yeah, it will be improved there with the internal linking feature.
Uh, is there any plan to fix plagiarism checker accuracy? At the moment, we are just integrating with a third-party solution. So, as far as I know, they are working on it, but maybe at some point we will decide to go our own way. But
Mhm.
I think all these popular solutions rely on Google search results and just check Google search results for parts of the content. So
Yeah, if you Frederick, if you just explain us, probably based on the web chat, where you need this improvement, then we can look further if this is really improvement on the tool or this is something on our side, how we can really help you with that. Because from this, what we have, according to this, how happy are users with the plagiarism checker right now? They are quite happy. They are just saying that this is one of the best working plagiarism checker. But of course, the plagiarism checker is very simple tool. It's just checking the sentences and parts of the content in Google. So if you are need a different options, then of course that's something that we have to work on.
mm,
Well, if the plagiarism checker comparable to Copyscape, I think it's the same level. I think you can. We didn't really compare this, but we know that it's quite well.
yeah, I think it's the same principle and the same limitations. So yeah. Does GPT-3 provide a fact-checked content? Well, during the training process,
Not at all.
they
That's
lose the information about where
so
it came
so
from,
that's
and
depend on the because it's statistical process. Yes, so this is really depend on this how many sources of data they have. It's the same like with the Google. I don't know if you're aware of this, but if you few months ago, if you ask how many legs has a horse, Google will say like a 9, yes, or 6. Surely not 4. So it's like the process where they learn from the trusted sources what are the facts. So yes, they have this fact checking, but of course, the fact checking when the sources are not trustable or there is a multiple trustable sources are different. So if you are just asking like, if I write the content with AI, if it's fact checked, I wouldn't say so, because sometimes you can formulate your question in the way that even it will mislead the AI to give you wrong facts. So, like, okay, without examples, maybe. Um, any plan to update AI writer content that beats AI detectors? Thanks. No, we are not going to do this. We don't believe in any kind of AI detectors. And this is not something that I understand that right now for some of the content creators which are selling the content, it's important that content will, I would say, behave as a content which was not written by the AI. So this what the question is like, can I cheat someone else, not the Google, let's say, because Google, of course, not using these AI detectors, but completely different AI detectors. So if someone will check a content which was written by the AI, can you improve this content that it will looks like a human as a content which was written by a human? No, we are not looking on this. And there are very simple tricks that you can do to bypass any content detectors for the AI. Just give a few dots in the middle of the paragraphs and you can pass by.
Yeah, anything that is unusual. So
Yeah, so anything what is unusual, and those detectors really are, I would say, are very, very easy to bypass and trick. So no, because first of all, we don't really believe that those AI detectors works. I mean, they are working for someone who may be selling the content that can sell a content as a content which was human written, but surely they are not working for the for any kind of Google detectors or any kind of advanced detectors which will be and are available on the network. And especially if you are looking on the content which is created by the AI, Google do not look on the single content, but they look on the content in, I would say, on the domain level. So this what they are looking for. They are looking for how many content on your page was created by AI without any human touch. This is what they do. So this what they are looking for. They are looking for pages, domains, which are created just for getting traffic from Google for ads and so on and so on. And we understand this is the way how they treat the spammers, because it's a next level of spam. It's just a spam generated with using AI, but surely they have completely different algorithm that a single content AI detector, because it's more on the domain level. Fact checking in NeuronWriter, we are thinking not about the fact checking, but more about the giving the facts that should be included in the content. Um,
yeah, it's
just
also mentioned
integrated,
in,
use Google results feature in the chats. So some of the AI content generators are bypassing the gaps which are in the open AI, because they are using the old models, or they are using AI, open AI, or they are using old models. So for example, if you need for example, this article about the football championship in Kuwait, there will be nothing there. But then you can force to use Google results, and then you can scrape the Google results and basically get some facts or not, because this is very tricky. Yes. But anyway, it will tell you that it was in date, it was in Kuwait, it was, I don't know, match, and so on and so on. So it will give you some external information from the Google SERPs. But of course, this is something where you have to be very fragile, because it's only working well for main topics. Because if there is not a lot of information, that you can be triggered as well.
Okay, can you compare the difficulty and search volume data with some popular tools like SEMrush on Ubersuggest or Ahrefs? I think about
So Uber suggests use the same data as we use.
yeah.
SEMrush use 80 or 90% the same data as we use.
Yeah, and you're talking about search volumes at the moment.
Yeah.
About the difficulty, just want to clarify that our difficulty metric for a keyword focuses mainly on content score and how well is the content optimized for the keyword. While other tools may also focus on external metrics, backlinks, and authority factors, and it can also affect the content
So
score.
probably we will change this description of this what we are giving here, because it was first the keyword query difficulty, but it should be a content difficulty. So how difficult it's to rank with a content only? Yes. This is the way how we are telling you, like, okay, guys, here only with the content will be very difficult. So you need more than a content. Okay. Let's say last three questions, and if you need more, if you have more questions, then you can always catch us on the chat, and we are more than happy to convert to follow up with the conversation. And also we will try to make a next webinar in 2 weeks, so there will be a second option for Q&As. Okay, so maybe even there is no more questions. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for believing in the company and the product. We are very happy with the community. We are very happy how you are helping each other. And also, yeah, this gives us more freedom and more time for just developing the product. So thank you so much for a good work, and yeah, we are seeing very bright future according to this where we are heading, and according to this what the product will looks like. We are really willing to be closer to phrase on the end of 2023 than you can imagine. So we are really following up the market leaders and trying to give you the best from the market leaders on the best price as well.
Yeah, so thank you so much for believing in us, and I hope you won't be disappointed.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.